Hey fellow citizens, welcome to the channel. It's Anchor Snake here. Hope you're doing good today. Today I've got a video about the ATLS and some ideas for upgrades that I have to potentially make this thing, I guess in my opinion, the natural, to make it better, for lack of a better word, just to make it better, because right now I don't really like the way it operates. I think it could be executed a whole lot cleaner execution. I like to see some different modes of operation and some potentials for upgrading. I want to talk about natural progression for a new beginner and how they would progress. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but how they progress from when they start the game until arriving at picking this ATLS up. So without further ado, let's get to it, y'all. There's a lot to talk about. Thanks for watching. The first item when a new person starts out running cargo missions that they're going to probably go get, let's just say if you're a new Babbage, you're going to go, you're going to get it out of your hab, and you're going to go down to the little 7-Eleven there. That's what I call it. And you're going to pick up, you're probably going to pick up a multi-tool. You're going to pick up one of these, right? This is what you're going to start off with. Maybe you've run a couple missions. You know, back in the day when you're running box missions, you could find tons of these things, and you still can. You can still find a lot of these multi-tools. And then you got to get the attachment, the mining, the tractor beam attachment. You put that on there, and lo and behold, now you can move cargo, and now you can start running cargo missions. It's an essential piece of, for my British brethren and sister, essential piece of kit. It's an essential tool to be able to do this trade, to haul cargo around. And as you can see, it can pick up all the way to 16 SU. So it's you can haul most of all the different types of cargo with this thing, and it does. It does pretty good. I mean, you can spin the cargo around. You can move it however you want to, in and out. It does everything that you would expect it to do. But what it doesn't have is let's see how far it can go. See, it doesn't have the reach. So in this situation, you would be running with your cargo, right? So eventually, after you've earned some credits, and you'll eventually upgrade. The natural path of progression would be the upgrade to the max lift tractor beam, and when you get that, obviously it can do all the way up to 32. Some of the benefits of it, it's a lot faster. It moves the cargo a lot faster, and look at the reach that it has. I mean, it took it all the way into the air from here, so it's got a pretty long reach. But right now, as you know, I'm wailing on the mouse wheel to bring it in and out. So it has fine motor control. I can haul. Now, obviously, some of these bigger crates, if we grab the 32. We start moving it around. It's not super fast, but it gets the job done. And you can build a career like I did, using just this tool. Matter of fact, this is the only tool I've ever really used, because I just didn't trust the ATLS, because every time it seemed like I got in it killed me. But I used the max lift tractor beam to acquire this. I purchased this in game, hauling cargo on a Drake Caterpillar. So it's a very viable tool, and this is probably where you're going to end up if you're going to haul cargo. You're going to have one of these. You got to have one. I'm not saying you have to have one, but you're probably going to be carrying one of these, right? So their natural progression, you would think, would be to this. The problem is that this ATLS doesn't have this fine precision control, it doesn't have this precision control. It just doesn't. What it does is it tosses boxes around like super fast and super crazy, and you have to learn how to operate within it, you know. And it's just difficult for a new player, a new operator, to really get the hang of it, because it's just, to me, it's kind of clumsy and convoluted. And another word is inconsistent. Like some of its motions and some of the way you manipulate the cargo is inconsistent. And I'll give you an example. Like, just if you have it and you're bringing you're trying to bring it to you or away from you, I'm using the mouse wheel to do this, right? And that's the only way that it'll do that. But in the ATLS, I can use the mouse wheel as long as it's on a grid. But the minute I get to the edge of the grid, it stops, and I have to push down on the mouse to actually pull it towards me. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the mouse wheel bit works, and sometimes it doesn't. It's like I said, it's inconsistent and clumsy for fine motor placement, or for fine placement of these items. And it gets really difficult whenever you're inside a ship or in a in a freight elevator area. And so what can we do to make, I think there's things that we can do to make this a more viable and a better product and a more usable product that people will want to have and want to use. And ultimately, you know, for big movers like me, or even the small guys, it gets you in and out of your, you know, if you're hauling cargo, it gets you in and out of the hangar and on your way. Less people in a hangar deck, you know, making videos and wasting time, and it just moves the game along a whole lot faster, and it makes the game more enjoyable. And I guess that's really the whole point of it, is to have fun, right? And if I can turn around a full load of cargo, if I could knock 20 minutes off of that just for loading, man, that's a huge amount of profit. You know, I can make more money in an hour, doing it by hand. And right now, I'm actually can do it faster. I can actually load this C2 faster with a max lift than I can with this ATLS, because it's just clumsy and awkward. And it's just inconsistent. And I think we can do things. I think if you take this thing back to the drawing board, I think you can make it better, and more people will start using it. So with that said, we'll move on to the next bit. I want to talk about, we'll talk about the issues next in the next clip. Okay, so some of the issues I want to talk about, the issues that I have with this thing. The first one, if you're in a place, it's like inside of a ship or wherever, or like near this freight elevator, if I select this item, it puts it right here in my face. And if I go F4, and the reason it's doing it is because of the elevator door right there. So right now, if you look, I can't see, right? So what that means I have to do to fix that is that I would have to turn, right? And I'd have to look over my shoulder, and then I can manipulate it. So I'd have to sit here and load over my left shoulder. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Now, once I get, like, if I was to step into the hangar or into the freight elevator, it lifts it up, and now I can see. You know, it's great. Well, what if I'm trying to put something up high? You know what I mean? It's in my field of view. And I don't like that. I just don't. I think there's a better way to do it, especially when you're dealing with this view here and you can't see. That's the main issue. One of the main issues I have with it. The second issue is that for whatever reason, CIG, these containers have a front side and a rear. And what happens is if I'm going to spin this thing around and I'm going to set it down, that's the back of the container right there. And what it does is every time you pick one of these up, it spins it automatically to put the front facing you. Watch what happens. See what it did right there? That's the front. If I set it down, it brings it right to me. So depending upon how you've loaded it in your ship, or how how the freight elevator brings this stuff up to you, it may or may not spin it. So my point is this: I don't like that feature at all. I think it needs to be turned off completely. There's no value whatsoever in presenting me the front of a cargo container. If anybody can tell me the reason why that's important, please let me know. Because I can't, maybe I'm just ignorant and I can't see the reason why you'd want to do that. But I just don't see it. I think that feature needs to be turned off. The next thing, let me get inside here. So right now, when I'm on a cargo grid, if I'm working on placing something, I'm moving my mouse. I'm moving my mouse to the right. I'm moving my mouse to the left. If I want to adjust the orientation of it, I hit R, and it's very similar to the max lift and the multi-tool. I'm moving the mouse to the left or the right, and I'm moving the mouse wheel in and out while it's on this cargo grid, while it's on this freight elevator, which is a fact a cargo grid, and it's a grid. So I'm gonna back up a little bit. I'm going to back up just a little bit. Now, this is the mouse wheel that I'm moving right now. But as you can see, when I get it off, I cannot pull it past. I cannot pull it past that cargo grid. Now, if I pull the mouse down, it'll pull it to me, right? Hitting the mouse wheel doesn't do nothing. If I put it back on there, now it moves it back. So now I'm moving the mouse wheel, but it's not doing nothing. It's just sitting there. And this is the inconsistent bit that I mentioned. It's inconsistent. Now I'm actually moving it backwards and forwards using the mouse, pushing up, pulling towards me, pushing up, pulling. And now it's stuck. Now it's not doing nothing. But if I hit the mouse wheel, now it starts doing something. So that's my beef with this whole process. It's not consistent. It doesn't do the same thing consistently. And it should. So another thing is the next thing is, like, let's say if I'm on the C2 and I've got this thing positioned in a situation where and I'm holding down the Z key and I'm sending the cargo up, right? And I place it. But let's say I need to spin it. Maybe I want it perpendicular to this one. So if I'm holding down the Z key and I hit the R button and I adjust it, and I'm still holding down the Z key, look what happens. See, now the ATLS moved. Well, I don't want it to move. I want it to be locked in place. I'm still holding down the Z key. So the R key overrides the Z key. The R key overrides the lock feature of the ATLS. Maybe I position myself exactly where I want to be and I don't want to move. Well, now I got to stop and I got to reposition myself again. And that's one of the beefs I have about it. Another thing I've noticed, let me see if I can grab a piece of cargo from over here. Lord have mercy. It brought that item all the way over here. We'll just go ahead and snap it to a grid. Some of the things I've noticed, like it. So like here right now, I'm trying to lift this piece of cargo up. I'm trying to get it to go on top of that. All right. So now this thing is in my grill. I can't see nothing. So I'm going to turn. gonna hit the Z key, and I want to put this 8. There it goes. So I'm having to use. So now at first I'm having to use the mouse wheel to try to roll it up there. Now I can lift it up. So sometimes it'll do it, and sometimes it won't. If I push up, okay, I'm pushing up. It's just not consistent. Like if I've got this thing and I'm moving it, let me turn again. So now I'm moving the mouse up, and it's not doing. Okay, there it did it. It did it that time. But right now I'm moving the mouse up, or pushing it, I guess, towards the W position, you know, forward, and it's not doing enough. But if I roll the wheel, it does something. It puts it up there. It's just all over. It's not consistent, and I don't like that. I don't like the way that feature works at all. And that's some of the issues that I have with it. I don't like how it does that. I don't like it comes right here in front of me. And it doesn't mess around when it comes to me. It just comes barreling towards me. And if I look over my shoulder and I grab it, I mean, that part works fine. You know what I'm saying? It's just the little things. What else? Loading, when you're loading the ship on the C2, sometimes this cargo will hit you if you're not, you know, because there's only a finite amount of space, especially with these 32s going by, and this cargo can hit you and push. Yesterday, a day or two, it actually pushed me out of the ship, pushed me through the ship's wall, underneath the ship, and completely out of the ship. Alright, so this is okay. Now look at this. Now I'm glitched out because of this. Now I'm inside the ship. That's crazy. That should never happen. And I just think that this should never be able to touch me. It should just not. Okay. It should never run into me. It should be some type of. It's like if in World War I they figured out a way to shoot bullets through a propeller. You know, it has an interrupter gear on it. I mean, you telling me you can't figure out a way to keep it from running into the ATLS? It should just like be coming toward and just boop stop. Like, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be hitting me. And one of the main reasons is that, you know, you don't want this stuff hitting you because it could cause bugs that can kill you. You notice I'm still pretty much dressed down. I don't have my full armor and all my gear on because I'm still not 100%. This thing's gonna eat me. I can take one of these pieces of cargo and with this ATLS, and I can basically push it underneath this door and lift this ship up off the ground. So the physics, and I don't know if this necessarily has anything to do with the ATLS. I think it's just the physics of cargo. But at the speed that this thing moves it at, I can lift this ship off the ground just by pushing cargo. So that's something that I would like to see. You know, if a piece of cargo is heading towards an angled deck, it should ricochet and go up. It shouldn't be able to go underneath and squeeze itself into thin atoms and then all of a sudden pop up and reinflate and knock the ship up. It's just ridiculous. So the mechanics of, I know this game is an alpha, but the mechanics of that needs to be reworked. And just real quickly, the bugs that this ATLS has. Number one is you don't want the player moving when you hit the F key to enter. You need to be still. That's one bug that needs to be worked on. The second bug is moving the mouse or interacting with the keyboard whenever the inner animation is playing. So you don't want to be touching nothing. Another thing is exiting is moving the player or hitting keys when you try to, especially, no, let me back up and punt. It's moving the ATLS and exiting. So you want the ATLS to come to a complete stop, and then you want to hit the Y key and hold it down for a brief amount of time. So the exit animation starts, and you want to let go of it. You want to just don't touch anything until that's completed. Using the ATLS near walls, against cargo, you don't want to be like morphing into the walls and stuff with this thing, and you don't want to put your back completely up against the back of a ship or a wall, because you don't want to exit the ATLS standing up next against a wall. And then obviously the last thing, falling off ramps and stuff like that. So all those little things that I just mentioned can cause bugs and kill the player. I mean, the last time I used this actually to haul cargo, I died in it in a space station. I just flat fell through the floor of the C2 and through the floor of this hangar, and just floated away into space and just fell. I was literally falling. It's like the gravity. I know it's a Lagrange point, and it's supposed to be like where different gravitational fields have come together. I don't know. I'm no astrophysicist. And so the next thing I want to talk about, modes. So in the ships we have the master modes. We have the nav mode, and we have the space combat, SCM, space combat mode. Two different modes of operation. I think we should have two different modes of operation in the ATLS. And I think probably right now some of your heads are probably exploding when I say that, but just hear me out. The first mode, the mode that the ATLS should come with, the very basic mode should be precision mode. It should be a selectable option. Precision mode or logistics mode. Logistics mode would be this mode that you expect the ATLS to be doing. We would call that the logistics mode. But in the precision mode, we would be able to manipulate items exactly like we can use with the max lift. But in my opinion, it should be an upgradable feature where we can make stuff move faster than the max lift. So it's obvious that when you get in and you start manipulating items, it's an improvement. It's upgraded. It's an upgraded item, and you feel that it's upgraded. Okay, wow, this thing is a lot faster. And so and we'll talk about upgrades near the end of this discussion, but that would be the precision mode. The logistics mode would be the mode that's happening right now. This quick, fast, down and dirty mode. And what I want to talk about, and I'm probably going to show you, I'll probably do it I made a slide to try to explain my idea of how this new logistics mode would work. Because right now what happens is, you right click, you pick an item up, and it pops up here in your grill, and you move this thing around, whatever. So like right now it's white because I'm on a cargo grid, but if I come out here, it's green because it's a place that I can set this item down. It's red if I can't set it there, it turns red, right? So if it's a place that I can't set it, I can set it up there on top of the C2, but I can't set it anywhere right here. That's the whole bit of this color is letting you know that, hey, okay, you can set it there. That's a cargo grid. Boom. Cool. That's basically how this works. Click it once. You find a place you want to put it. You can adjust it with R if you want. And you can adjust the direction. And then you press the button again, and then it sets it. My idea is a little bit different. Okay, so this is a picture that I did, and it's basically, obviously 3 crates sitting there, but just use your imagination and just pretend that that the crate on the left is not really sitting there. Okay, So my idea is that you would select it. You would select an item. You would click it. It would highlight it and turn it green. You would get a green like outline around the box, like you see in the slide. So the first click selects the item, and the item turns green, or white or whatever. But in this case, it's going to turn green. That's letting you know that you've selected it. Okay. The next thing you're going to do, and the cool thing about this new feature is that when you select it, it highlights it, but it does not move. It stays put. It stays exactly where it's sitting at this moment. Now you get presented with a colored box depending upon where it's at. So if it's sitting on a cargo grid, it's the box you're going to be manipulating is either going to be white or green, or maybe red if you're trying to put it up in a sealant or something silly like that. But let's just say you're putting in a cargo deck, or maybe you're putting inside of a ship. That box is going to be white to let you know that you can actually place that item right there. But for the sake of this video and this diagram, we're putting it on the hangar deck. And so in this case, it's going to be green. So what you would do, once you found a location that you're happy with, you would click it again, and that box is going to be presented. Boom, it's going to lock right there in that spot. And that's going to tell you that's where this item is going to go. And so the next thing you would do is you would click it a third time. And on the third click, the item will move. The box will actually travel to the location that you selected. Does that make sense? So it's 3 clicks instead of 2. And what this does is it eliminates that thing sitting in your face and blocking your field of view. And it just makes it simpler. So instead of trying to look around a box or having to reposition the ATLS to place that item, it's out of your field of view because it's still sitting in the original place that you selected it at. It's sitting there green. You've placed a representation of where you've placed a box, and it's representing that one that you've got highlighted. You click it the third time, and boom, it just moves to that location. It takes the shortest distance to get there. If it has to come towards you and over, or up and over, I'll leave it up to the programmers to figure that piece out. And I kind of get why they have it come towards you and then you push it so it's moving in straight lines. Maybe that's why they did it that way. I don't know. But basically, the item will take the shortest path to get to where you've selected it, where you've picked the location to be. The other thing, these are left mouse clicks that we're talking about, which would normally be the fire button. Now, at any point during this process, you could click the right button, and it would reset and clear the selection. So it basically would clear all of it. So let's just say if you've selected the item and you've picked the location that you wanted to go to, and you decide, I don't want to go there, you can right click and you can start over. You could pick the item you want to move, and then find a new location. Whatever you want to do, but the right click would clear that. So hopefully that makes sense. But as far as like the functionality, as far as like it zinging to where you want it to go, I think it should still do that. But it gives you the ability to not have to deal with something floating over your head. I mean, you could focus more on getting the cargo oriented in the way you want it to go before you actually make it perform the move. I hope that makes sense. All right, so upgrades. So the ATLS has this little rascal right here. It has this battery thing, bob. That's not really usable at the moment. Doesn't really do a whole lot. I'm assuming that that's a battery. That's what it looks like to me. How about, wouldn't it be neat if you could upgrade the ATLS, which could improve its performance depending upon the version or the level of battery that you put in it. So you could have a level 1. It comes with a level 1, but you can upgrade it 2 more times to level 2 and then to level 3. And specifically, I guess you could make it where this affects the precision mode. So the precision mode, so if it's a level 1 or level, level 2 or level 3, it just moves these items faster. You know what I mean? And so it could be a performance improvement in how quickly it moves these items. Something to work for, something to spend some credits on it to upgrade. And I think that would be a great idea. I mean, it gives you something to do. So that's my idea. I mean, you could probably, if you really wanted to, maybe do it via the typical, go into your Moby Glass and go into your vehicles and selecting. You could maybe do it that way, but I don't know. It just seems like this is a lot cooler. How cool would that be? That's what I think. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter. I just think it would be neat if we had the ability to either do it via the Moby Glass or upgrading it right here. So like if you select it and you could say, maybe it gives you like a wheel. Do you wish to upgrade or upgrade to version 2 or whatever? You select yes, and then boom, it just does it. You know what I mean? I just think that would be kind of cool. So these upgrades would definitely improve the functionality and usability of the ATLS for newer players, people that are new to this item, because it would just make more sense. Make it easier to use for everybody, even the people that's been using it, because I've read where people have said it's just not as it doesn't have the precision that it used to. It's something's changed about it. Well, let's change it. Let's make this thing like the natural progression from the max lift that it should be. Let it have the same functionality in the precision mode, and then in the logistics mode, let it like just toss the stuff. Well, like you would expect the ATLS to do, but do it smartly with the way with this 3-click idea instead of 2. And I think it would improve the gameplay, make it more enjoyable, and make it more profitable for the people that are using it. And then on the flip side, people will want to buy it. So if you can fix the bug issues that are killing players, I mean, there is the workarounds. There's plenty of videos, and I've provided one as well on the steps you need to take to hopefully not die in this thing. And as you can see, I'm pretty well dressed down. I'm not in my full armor, and I don't have all my stuff on because I'm into ATLS. I don't trust it. I've been killed in it too many times. And if we can do that, I think that I think it'll be a winner. Now, as far as like implementation, there's key bindings and stuff like that. You're going to have to figure out where, how you're going to solve that issue, which, I've built a video game. It shouldn't be hard to do. And maybe a center mouse button push could be the difference between the modes. Maybe it's a toggle, you push the center mouse button, not instead of, most modern mouse buttons have a button on the mouse where you can push in. And a lot of mouses have lots of other different buttons that you could use, or a keyboard, whatever the case may be, for the different modes of operation. So hopefully that's makes as much sense. Hopefully all this makes sense. And if there's anything that you thought of, or even a better way to skin this cat, man, put it in the comments. Let me know. I sure would love to find out, see what you think about it. If this is a horrible idea, tell me why it's a horrible idea. Like, please let me know. I mean, you can blow me up, and that's fine, but at least give me some constructive criticism, or at least ask the hard questions like, well, what about this? Because I haven't thought of everything, obviously. But what I do know is that I don't like the way it currently works. I just don't like it. And that's why I'm really reluctant to use it, because I just don't like the way it functions. Maybe with enough practice, and I get used to it, maybe it'll be okay. But And as I get, you get used to how it works, and you learn it. You know, there's plenty of people I know that can manipulate it probably pretty well, but I'm just not one of them yet. And I think if you make this do what I've shown, I think it'll be even better. So anyway, y'all, I'm beating a dead horse. I don't need to go no further with that. Appreciate y'all watching the video, and I look forward to some comments, and I hope y'all have a great day. Y'all take care. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye.